Welcome to Don't Quote Me on That. One day we will have an intro, but today is not that day. Hi, this is Eleanor.
And this is Kalina.
And welcome back to Don't Quote Me on That, where I make Kalina listen to things.
And Kalina is not happy about it.
No. Not actively upset, mostly, but not happy about it.
Sure. Whatever you have to tell yourself.
Okay, so, this week we're talking about an album that I have been listening to pretty consistently since it came out. I coming into this was not confident that Kalina was going to like it. And I'm excited to be correct.
I definitely have some thoughts.
Okay.
I would definitely share them.
Okay. Do you want to just get right?
We should probably tell them what we're talking about.
Oh, okay. You're so smart. You know everything. We're talking about Snow Angel by Miss Renee Rapp. I found out about Renee Rapp because I saw her in a TikTok once and the song was okay. I think it was Colorado, but I could be wrong. And I googled her and then I saw that she was on a show and hot, and I immediately started paying $11 a month for HBO Max so I could watch the show that she was on, and then she left the show.
Sometimes I think we should keep things to ourselves.
Yeah, that's the censored version.
I know Renee Rapp because she was in Mean Girls on Broadway. And I am a Broadway girly. Not so much on Mean Girls specifically on Broadway, but Mean Girls was like dumpster fire. That was really funny. It was a good show, but like Cameron Dallas was on it for a little bit, and like I think Cody Simpson played Aaron. Yeah,
you know what? I could get into that.
I'm sorry, Cody Simpson didn't play Aaron. I'm mixing it up with when Cody Simpson, for some God knows what reason, played Dimitri from Anastasia.
Yeah, he was in Anastasia.
I don't know if you all have seen Dimitri from Anastasia. This is a dark-haired Russian man. I don't know if you guys have seen Cody Simpson. Mind you, a dark-haired Russian man who like grew up on the streets, starving, having to like, fight to survive. I don't know if you guys have seen Cody Simpson. Doesn't look like that. So I had some questions.
Not that you have any thoughts or opinions.
Anyway, no, not that I have thoughts or feelings.
No,
when I first heard that Renee Rapp was like making an album, I said it's okay to have one thing. Like we don't like I talked about this actually in my solo episode that I did, and I was talking about celebrity books and like ghostwriters, and how I think if you're gonna write as a celebrity, like if I'm an actor and I'm going to write a fiction novel, there is no reason for me to utilize a ghostwriter for my fiction novel if I can't write a novel of my own merit. And like it's okay to not have that skill, but just like stick to the thing that you're good at, which is acting. I think if you could have a ghostwriter if it's like an autobiography, because not everyone like you're talking about yourself, just not everyone can write well. So like that I think makes sense. But like if I'm gonna write a story that I just made up and has nothing to do with anything, I feel like I should be able to write the story.
So not a fan of the album?
Well, I didn't say that, but you gotta get into it. No, it was just like going into the album. I was like, and she like did musical. Renee Rapp did musical theater in high school. She won the Jimmy Award, which is like a really big thing. School, and then she was in Mean Girls, which like was a good show. It did well. Sabrina Carpenter was in Mean Girls for a little bit. So like it was a good show. It did well. She's got exposure. She's like a well enough known name in terms of like new stars in the Broadway community. So I was like, you kind of had the thing. Leave something for something else.
I mean, that's valid. I forget sometimes that you're a Broadway girl.
And like I feel kind of hypocritical because like I have a lot of interest, but like I'm also not trying to make them all my career choices. You know what I mean? I kind of picked one thing and stuck with it. You can have hobbies.
Talk too much.
Which is something we do here
all
on
the
show.
time.
All of the time. You start. I want to hear your thoughts. I'll save mine.
Okay. I like most of this song, but I generally have beef with people like talking in songs. It just takes me out of the experience too much, and so the bit where she talks for way too long makes me hate the song. Without that, it's a fun song. And I'm also insane, so I can relate to that part of it. But don't talk in songs. I can't listen to this song all the way through.
I liked the vibe of the song. I kept expecting Talk Too Much by Coin to come in the chorus. So every time it didn't, I was like, wait, it's a fun song. I do like any sort of reference to being reckless while you're driving. And she does say, so I'll close my eyes when I drive. So she won me over. She said it early enough on that I was like, I get behind this. This is very like, I don't know what kind of music Coin makes, okay? But like that sort of.
Yep.
Talk Too Much. Maybe like some Neon Tree songs, that sort of vibe. I do like the tone of her voice a lot. I do think she is an alto. I could be wrong. But she does have like a deeper register. I think she should do like a jazzier album. I think if she leaned more the other way, it would do something like different. And not that every time you do something, it has to be groundbreaking. Like it's fine to just make an album because you want to make an album. It's fun and it fits the genre of music you make. I just think it would have been a more powerful album if it had been like a little jazzier, a little more R&B-esque.
Okay. It's fair.
It was a fun song. It was fine.
Yeah, it's fun. Like, genuinely, up until the talking, I really like it. I think it's a good kind of start to the album, too. I wouldn't say it's the best album opener we've ever seen on this show.
No.
But we have some pretty high bars, but it's not a bad choice.
In terms of the album overall, it fits very well in with the vibe. It's not giving you too much in the beginning. I think it flows very well into the next song.
I agree. Do you want to start with the next song?
I will start with the next song. The next song is called I Hate Boston. I like this, actually.
Ooh.
Shockingly.
Ooh.
I know. I thought, now, I got a little nervous. I didn't think she was going to go into, like, show tune vibe, right? But I was like, it's possible. That's kind of what her background's in, right? When the chorus comes in, it does kind of sound like she's about to break into, like, a very ballady sort of voice. Thankfully, she didn't. I really love the chorus, how'd you make me hate Boston? It's not its fault that you don't love me. Just kind of, you know, that retrospective. She sounds very forlorn. It's very quiet, and I was expecting her to, like, because of how boppy the first one was, not terribly boppy, but like it had a bit of a higher energy to it than this one does. This one's like almost very depressing. It could be more depressing, but like it's getting there. But I do think the second half of that second chorus is very moving. It builds very beautifully. This kind of goes back to that whole, I don't think we need to be hitting like high notes for no reason. It builds very nicely, but it keeps in theme and like consistent with the vibe of the song and her voice. So it's not like she's like Ariana Grande whistle toning it up here because she can, and because it's the climax of the song. She like builds it in a way that makes sense. And she has like this full band come in, but not how I would say like Måneskin has like a full band come in the way that like an R&B singer has a band. You know, like I can't pinpoint the instruments that make it different, but it's very like, again, jazzy R&B-esque versus like if I said Kiss came in with a full band. It's a different vibe.
Agree. I like this song. I mean, this song kind of is a little bit bitchy in a way that I personally enjoy in a song. Especially the family confrontation probably started because my name was mentioned part. I think the delivery on that is great. And also, you know, it's funny.
I kind of looked at it from another way, not so much bitchy, but like I let you make me hate Boston, and like I shouldn't have done that. It's not its fault you don't love me. It's bound to happen. So I just kind of like ready to like move past that. It still hurt. It still sucked, sure, but like I still live in your head because you're starting family arguments about me, and
Well, it was that one and the I heard your father sleeping on this couch. He sure got around. Those two together. That's
fair.
That yeah. Those are like those are sisters to me.
That's fair.
No, I agree. I also just the whole vibe of the just the opener of the you got to be a big hometown hero and I was just a tourist.
Yeah.
Love that.
Anything about like, well, we can get on that all day.
Yeah. Yeah, we're on the same page. But again, it's good. I like this one. I
would have liked this as an opener.
I agree.
Because while it's not as boppy as the rest of the album, I think is fun. This one was like a lot more, very, very like toned down in comparison. Like I said, it's very sad sounding. But I just think it had like vocally and instrumentally, it had like a lot of the like depth that a good opener has, and still would have set us up for the album, but carrying us a bit like instead of like starting off a little lower and carrying us up.
Yeah. And it's got, the song's a little bit clever. So, it stands up pretty well lyrically, and like the other ones stand out a little bit more sonically. So it'd be a good mix. I will say this is I guess it's not one of the only slower songs on the album I like, but I was worried that a lot of the songs would sound like this, and that would have brought the album down for me.
Listen, just be glad she didn't do a whole bunch of like Broadway ballad, because she can sing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The girl can sing.
The girl can sing.
I don't know if you've met a theater kid. Unfortunately, Broadway stars are just famous theater kids. Like, sometimes they be doing too much.
Don't ruin everybody for me. Theater kids are scary.
They're scary.
And I can.
We were both theater kids. In a way, is the worst part.
Oh, I think
we were theater kid adjacent.
Which is honestly worse, because we weren't even cool enough to be on stage.
No, I was cool enough. I just wasn't doing that because have you ever met a theater kid? I was a tech kid.
I love you so much.
I know. I'm pretty funny.
That's not what I said. Songs.
Songs.
Which is what we're talking about. This song is called Poison Poison. Did you hate it?
No, I thought the title was stupid. I thought she was like repeating poison, But the way the line is structured is that she's using poison as a verb and a noun. Boom. English lesson for you guys. And musically, this was my favorite. We are only 3 songs in, but out of the 3, this is my favorite. I did really, really like the line where she goes, "You're making it so hard for me to always be supporting all women." Because, like, I am a feminist, but sometimes women are dumb. And I'm allowed to say that because I am a woman. If a man said that, different energy.
Oh, absolutely.
I do think that Renee Rapp does a very good job of, like, being petty without being unreasonable. Like, sometimes people are, like, petty and they're just like, I'm upset right now and I'm upset about everything. Whereas she's like, no, like, this is not, at least in her songs, this is not, like, me being petty because I'm upset in the moment. This is, like, I do have, like, reasons to back this up. So it's not, like, I'm hating a woman because I just mad and I hate all women. It's like, no, you're being stupid and you're also a woman. And you're kind of making it sucky to be a woman right now. You're not helping out our gender. I thought the bridge in this song was very good. And then post-bridge, we get this, like, sort of... I need a music person to explain to me if this is the correct term. But, like, that sort of discordant. It doesn't really... It sounds kind of like... in movies and TV shows when you've got, like, a band warming up on stage and they're just connected to the amp and kind of like how that electric guitar sounds. Like, they haven't quite tuned it properly yet. That sort of vibe. That's what the guitar in the bridge sounds like, kind of in the background, and I love when a guitar sounds like that. I love a band. We know this.
We do know this.
Eleanor's been making me listen to a lot of pop music, and I don't know if you guys know this. A lot of pop artists do not involve bands that play music. And not that it is a problem. It is fine. I just am, like, 20 times happier if I listen to 5 Seconds of Summer. I'm Måneskin, who play instruments and make good music.
Okay,
Because sometimes you play instruments and you make bad music.
I feel like you knew I was a pop girl when we met. So
I
this is your
did,
fault.
and that, you remember how we didn't speak to each other for 6 months? That was actually on purpose.
Because of the pop music?
I mean, among other things.
Okay.
That was like we're not going to get along because I don't listen to pop music.
Okay. I mean, that's not really my recollection of events, but...
What is your recollection of events?
My recollection of events is that we were talking about Poison. This song is also a highlight for me. It's very fun. And I think... Am I allowed to say the F word?
Sure.
I think more songs should be about people you think should shut the fuck up and die. Because...
But that's not the F word I thought you were going to say, because you say the F word all the time, freely.
No, I
was really confused how the dots connected, but I was going to let you go with it.
Well, I mean, that one too, but I'm going to keep that one off the internet for now. I feel like that'd be a little bit weird, especially, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is very fun. I also like the bridge. I like this as a driving song, which we've talked about ad nauseum. Great driving song.
I want to read everyone the bridge, which, like, lyrically, not terribly interesting. But she says, "This might be out of pocket, but I might just have to drop it. So go run, check your inboxes. You incriminated our pulses." And when I heard incriminated our pulses, I was like, maybe we should.
That's
not
what
say
it
words.
is?
Yeah.
I thought she was saying you incriminated our bosses.
No, it's pulses.
Oh.
However, like, when you get the lyrics and the sound, it fits in very nicely into the song. It works. It does not work when I read it out like that. But I'm not going to sing it because that would be bad for everybody.
Well, I don't like this song as much now.
Yeah, I know, it's pulses.
I really thought she was doing like a little... Okay, well, that's kind of a bummer.
You would think her enunciation would be better, given that she has to perform live in front of people on Broadway.
Well, I also don't
need them to know what you're saying.
What it means to incriminate a pulse, so my brain never would have gotten there anyway. You can incriminate bosses.
I was like, this is a little fartsy for me.
Because I thought, like, you have another suit to lick, you incriminated our bosses. I thought those were, like, tied together, and her bitch fucked her boss or something, but, like, that's not...
That's not what happened.
That's not what happened, allegedly. That's kind of a bummer for me.
Sorry.
Next song?
Yeah.
Yeah. The song is called Gemini Moon, and I think Kalina might have thought it was dumb because of all the zodiac references. This song is okay. I think it's kind of fun. I really like the chorus, just because I think she's got a good voice. But I have a problem with the line sour lemons or cinnamon, because I don't know which of those is supposed to be the good one and which one is supposed to be the bad one, because they both sound kind of just bad on their own.
It's obviously cinnamon is the good one. What is wrong with you?
I don't like cinnamon.
The number one rule of Kalina baking: there is no such thing as too much cinnamon, unless you are allergic to it.
I mean, there is very easily such thing.
Not that I've encountered, no.
Have you ever been to Cinnabon? They're trying to kill you.
Well, it's not, my beef there is not the cinnamon.
Is it the frosting?
Yes. Just thinking about that makes my teeth hurt.
That's so fair. But also, like, I like sour candy.
I like sour candy. But you wouldn't eat, like, a lemon by itself. And a lemon is not, it's not like sour candy is not like lemon. It's a whole bunch of sugar. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that face that you're making.
We've all been there before. You didn't...
Where is there?
Eating lemons like an orange? Like, it's not something I actively do, but I can't say it's something I've never done.
Anyway, I am not an astrology homie, okay? I don't like the word girly, and I don't want to say the B word, so... Not an astrology
D word?
bro. The B word.
Oh, the B word. Okay.
I'm not an astrology bro.
Okay.
Like a finance bro, but worse.
Yeah.
However, I believe in astrology enough to be like, I get a lot of flack because I'm a Scorpio, and every time I tell people that, they're like, I get one of two responses, and I don't like either of them. I either get, no, you can't be, you're so nice, which, like, what does that mean?
You?
First of all, me. Second response I get is, oh, which is the one I get most of the time. I tell people I'm a Scorpio, and they say, oh, that explains so much about you. And then I had a guy tell me the other day, when I told him I was a Scorpio, he said, that explains why you act like that. And I would like to know what he meant by like that. So I have some beef with astrology.
Yeah, clearly. You have...
Warranted. The song was fine. I don't really have a lot of thoughts on it. I liked how in the chorus she says, I bet you're so sick of it, believe me, so am I. And when she like is going into that first line, all the instruments kind of like a cappella just for a moment, and I thought that was really nice. I think she like used her instrumentals very well, like when to bring them in, when to boost them, when to take them out. And I really liked the line, yesterday was heaven, now I'm bored. I when I was listening to this, I was like, this song is like fine to me. I could see you liking it. I understood why that would be.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not my favorite on the album, but I do like it. But additionally, the most frustrating people in my life historically have been Geminis. So
I have one Gemini friend and we get along fantastically.
I'm so glad.
Also, I'm not into astrology enough to be like, this is my star sign, this is my sun sign, this is my moon. I don't know what any of those words mean.
I know the main one, and that's it.
Unfortunately, I have been characterized as a good example of a Scorpio enough times that I'm pretty happy with just sticking to that. Mm-hmm. And being like, that's really all you need to know about me.
I mean, to be fair, the people who say that they're not surprised aren't wrong.
I like every Scorpio I've met. That's a lie. I like November Scorpios.
Okay. Are you
I'm not a November Scorpio. I like myself. I'm fun.
I like you too, Kalina.
Thank you. This next song is called Snow Angel, which is also the title of the album. I don't know, I have mixed feelings about naming your album after like a song on the album. I think if you're gonna do it, it's gotta be like a really good name. And it's gotta be a really good song, like the like centerpiece of the album. Because I think sometimes people make albums and all of the songs are good and strong and, you know, good songs in their own right, but I wouldn't say there's like a song that's like that the album's built around a song that's like really the herald of the work. Where sometimes, like, I don't know, listen, the only examples that come to my head are 5 Seconds of Summer and Måneskin, so I think you can tell who I've been listening to a lot. But Youngblood. And like Youngblood, I think like the Youngblood album really the like centerpiece, the like masterpiece of that. Not having that Youngblood I think is the best song off that album, but you could see how the rest of the songs were built around that. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense.
It does.
Youngblood's a good album.
Youngblood's such a good album. Yeah. I agree. It's a good song. I think it's a very strong song. Mm-hmm. And according to the little notes at the end of Genius, it does kind of sound like this wasn't even supposed to be on the album.
That's a bold move. Then may name your album off of it. Then.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
maybe she was like, "I'll scrap the song."
well,
Name the
no.
album
I'm
that.
I'm so sorry. It was like, it wasn't like written and then not supposed to be on the album. It wasn't written until like one of the last days before the album was like finished. So it was one of the latest additions. Still a bold move to,
Still a bold move, yeah.
make a song and then, have an entire album and decide it's good enough.
She wrote the album.
Yeah.
Or did she name the album and go, crap, I don't have a song name for this song?
It sounds like the other way. Like,
Yeah.
it was song title, album title.
Yeah. However, I expected to hate this, right? Because it just sounded like it was going to be not my kind of music, is what I will say.
But?
No, before I got to the but, there was something else. What was it about the album? Oh, for our debut album, I'd heard like clips of. There's another song we'll talk about later, and if you're gonna name a song, or you name your album after a song on the album, I would have picked the later song we'll talk about. And for our debut, I had heard clips. I'd kind of had an idea of the sort of music she'd make, so I didn't think I'd like it. So, the title song of the album to me was, I was like, this will probably be the worst of it for me. And I liked it, actually. It made me think of Perks of Being a Wallflower, just specifically because a lot of the flashbacks he has of his aunt are in the winter, in the snow, and then there's this scene where he goes and lays in the snow, and how she says, "I'll make it through the winter if it kills me, and if it kills me, I tried," which I think was very Charlie coded, so to speak. And then I also said Rosalie Core, which I can't remember why now. It made me think of Twilight. And I'm trying to... I think she was it's white outside, but red underneath. What's misery without company? I'm an angel in the snow until I'm worthy. And I was thinking of Twilight, and originally I thought of Bella, specifically in New Moon, where it's just...
Yeah.
October.
Mm-hmm.
That part. But then I was thinking more of Rosalie in the sense of when Rosalie talks to Bella about how I didn't have a choice for this life, and I'm devastated and I'm upset with you for wanting to choose this, because why would you choose this? It's a horrible life. And just how Rosalie's I'm just trying to make it through this life that's never gonna end, right? And just trying to make the best of what I have. However, I like heavy music. I like when a band comes into a song. The band comes in so nicely in the bridge. The band is in, and then when she sings the chorus, the singer, so it's her by herself. She'll say, "I'll make it through the winter if it," and then the backing vocals come in for "kills me." "I can make it faster if I hurry." And there's a swell in the instrumental. The band has come in. The backing vocals have come in. I'm like, this is the masterpiece of a song. And then we get back to the verses, which the verses aren't bad. I just was really into the chorus. So safe to say, underdog of the year here. Shocking surprise. I liked the song.
I like it too. I think it's, yeah, you kind of said everything there. I'm surprised you liked this one, but I'm glad you did.
Listen, no one is more surprised than me. I was avoiding listening to it.
I particularly like the bit where she says, "Look in the mirror, she looks like me, but half alive and twice as weak."
That was it. That was what I originally was Bella, and then I was wait a second, because Rosalie had Rosalie was always pretty, but you have these dreams of your life, and now you're this oh, listen, that could even be Edward. Like I said, it was Twilight overall.
This song is very Twilight to me.
It was I was once this person who had dreams and hopes and a moral compass, and now I have to feed on blood to survive. That's a little devastating.
It is a little devastating. But...
And I just thought it did a really good job of being a sad song in both lyric and sound without being absolutely depressing.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes I like a depressing song, and then sometimes we have songs we talk about where it's sad lyrics, fun sound, or fun lyrics, sad sound. And this was the perfect balance of being sad but still sounding hopeful musically.
Yeah, it I don't know, it's very powerful in terms of the instrumentals on it. I do appreciate that. What? I'm so sorry. I thought of a really good segue to the next song. Back when we were talking about Twilight, can you say one more thing about Rosalie being a vampire and then?
Oh yeah, so Rosalie is devastating, making the best of what she's got, cursed with this existence that like of beauty and people wanting her, which is what she wanted when she was alive, but like the cost it came at.
Yeah, and it's like, so what now?
Actually, the more I talk, I'm like, I actually have some more thoughts about Rosalie and like the depth of your dream and what you wanted and what you got. Like, you got what you wanted, but the cost you had to pay, the price you had to pay. The cons are so much worse than the pros. It did not come in the package you thought it was gonna come in.
I think it's been long enough that we can talk about Twilight again if you...
Oh, we so can talk about Twilight now.
I mean, not like actively right now.
No. That should be like we gotta do a redo of Christmas 2018?
Yes.
2018.
2018.
We don't talk about 2019.
Oh, please, let's not.
For Eleanor's sake, not mine.
I mean...
No, I'm guilt tripping and I'm having a great time when I talk about... No, we gotta recreate 2018 Christmas, and then we'll talk about Twilight. We'll live stream. So. I will live stream. I'll FaceTime you. We'll prop up the camera so you can see me and you. We'll have a good time.
Okay.
Anyway, so what now?
So what now?
Is the next song.
It is. I am such a big fan. This is probably my favorite song on the album.
Can you see me again?
Based on the face that Kalina just made, she
Oh, you can see me. Look at my Scooby-Doo cup.
Oh, that is cute. Matches your bag.
Yeah. Cracker Barrel.
Interesting. Based on the face that Kalina made, I don't think she particularly agrees with me. But that's okay. What sold me on this song happened real early. Big double whammy in a good way for me. The sound of the if I'm missing calls, I'm gonna cry at the very start. Very punchy, very fun. And then a couple seconds later, she says, "What gives you the right to come back to the city that I live in? Yeah, I know that you grew up here and I know that your family's here." I love that. That's the kind of insane that I am. Because why are you, as somebody who lives in my town?
It's not that I didn't like the song.
It's just that you didn't like it?
Normally when we do these album reviews, I listen to the album once. And I have found that back to 5 Seconds of Summer, funnily enough, I did not like 5 Sauce 5. It was bad, and I didn't like it. I liked 2 songs, but the rest was bad. And I was really disappointed. And then, over time, just naturally, it popped up. I listened to it some more. I made a post on TikTok, and everyone in the comment, my caption was something about how, I'm pretending it doesn't exist. And everyone's like, what do you mean you didn't like Redline? And I was like, alright, maybe I was wrong. I will give it another listen. And so, again, do I think it is the best album they have ever written? Not by a long shot. Is it better than I thought the first time I listened to it? Yes. So I've been trying a little bit nicer about albums and give them a couple listens before I sit down to really focus and take notes on them. I listened to this album 3 times, twice while I was cleaning and then once to take notes. I forgot this song existed every single time. Every time it came on, I was like, what is this? I was worried it was just playing other Renee Rapp songs, but it wasn't. I thought she sounded very cool vocally. And I did like what you were talking about, why are you in my town even though you grew up here? She knows she's being hypocritical, but she's like, but what about it? So it kind of reminded me of Guts with Olivia Rodrigo, where Olivia Rodrigo's like, yeah, I know I'm doing what I'm not supposed to be doing, and I know I'm being dumb, but I'm embracing that, so I'm gonna make the best of it while I'm here. But it was a song.
It is a song. We can agree that it was a song. Well, let's march along, like wedding march. The wedding song. I get points for trying.
Have you ever seen Italian wedding soup?
No.
Okay, look that up. If you know what Italian wedding soup is, it's a disappointment. That's how I felt about this song. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if it's a disappointment. It's got meat in it, so I've never had Italian wedding soup. But like, what it says and the package it's delivered in don't really match up. What would you picture if you're picturing a wedding soup?
I mean, I already looked at pictures, so I would just picture this now because it's in front of me. But I would think maybe like some luxury in some wedding soup.
Probably like a chowder, something like fancy.
I mean,
nice.
I wouldn't personally put any chowder in a wedding, but...
Not chowder, but like a thicker... What is that? On the converse side, you ever seen a Mexican wedding cookie? Delivers what is promised. Looks good. Okay? The wedding song, I was like, this is going to go terribly because I met myself and I don't have faith in anything ever. It wasn't a bad song. I just also forgot this song existed after 3 listens. Her going into the chorus, I cannot pinpoint the exact moment. It's like 2 words into the chorus. It makes me think of I just keep thinking she's going to start singing Me, Myself, and I by 5 Seconds of Summer. And I don't mean to keep bringing them up, but like...
There is a lot of overlap there that trips me up too sometimes.
It's like when you talk about... When we're doing like a pop punk album, for example, and not that I am saying 5 Seconds of Summer is on the same level as these bands. But when you are like when you're talking about an album and you're like, oh my god, this reminds me of Blink-182. This sounds like Fall Out Boy. It's kind of hard to escape that sound because they're so entrenched and so definitive of and just inspirational to the genre. So like 5 Seconds of Summer, especially I would say 5 Sauce 5 and maybe like Calm a little bit were this sort of poppy adjacent, not quite like full pop, but poppy albums. And just because I listen to them more, and I've listened to them a lot lately, because again, I don't listen to a lot of pop music, that's sort of my frame of reference for this. But when she goes into the chorus, she goes, "You are my only one." I just keep thinking of Luke Hemmings going, "My selfish appetite is just me, myself, and I." I don't know why it sounds like that to me, but it does.
I really like this song.
However, on the plus side, a different musical artist reference that I did make earlier, so not really different. You guys can tell I listen to the same, like, 4 people, right? She says, "I know there's heaven, but we must be higher," which made me think of Hosier. At the end of one song, he goes, "Heaven is not fit to house a love like ours." He's like, our love is holier than heaven. And that's basically what she's like. Same vibe here. I know there's a heaven, but we must be higher.
It's not fair to be comparing those two. Okay, it's not.
I'm sorry. Like I said, it's like when you listen to an album and you're like, oh, it sounds like Fall Out Boy. That's not fair to anybody.
Mm-mm. I like this song because I think it's an interesting way to kind of recycle a love song in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Like as a concept, I like it. I think the love song parts are very sweet.
I should have also mentioned I don't like love songs.
Yeah, that definitely plays a part in this. But she doesn't mention being a Gemini.
Honestly, that might have canceled out the parts I didn't like.
Oh, damn.
Well, you're so close. No, I'm kidding. It's not that it was a bad song. It's just like the last one, I just like...
It's not your thing.
It didn't stick out to me enough for me to remember it, yeah. It was there, it was fine. I was expecting an album full of these, and I didn't get that, so I was glad. It just wasn't memorable to me.
You know what is memorable to me, though?
Oh, God. Yeah, tell me.
Pretty Girls.
Oh, my God. I think that's the title of the next song.
What? I mean, I was
crazy.
Just talking about my extracurriculars.
Your hobbies?
Yeah.
Pretty Girls. It took me 3 listens of this song to realize what it was about. I thought she was just talking about, girls are pretty, I like girls, whatever. So, I got it. And I do think that's a very interesting, underdeveloped topic theme in the musical market, because it was only recently, to be fair, people could be like very open about singing about liking the same gender. So to have that struggle of being like, yeah, straight girls just like when they get drunk want to hook up with me, and then go ha ha ha, this is funny. I did really like when she says it's pathetic because you're right.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of what you were saying, you don't like talking in a song. I like talking in a song most of the time. I think she did it well here in the second pre-chorus. Says, in the PM, all the pretty girls, they have a couple drinks, all the pretty, or something like that, right? Something along those lines. But it sounds like she's talking, and I like it. And I think this chorus would go really hard in an EDM remix.
Oh.
Not the whole song.
Okay.
But, like, can you imagine being in a club? Oh, I know you can't. But imagine being in a club, okay? Like,
I hate it already.
More specifically, a European club, okay?
I hate it already.
The line of the chorus, every line ends with pretty girls, and just good bass. We're having a party, and it's just singing about pretty girls, and we're just ignoring like all the bad stuff we're saying about pretty girls because they suck and they're stupid, right? In this scenario, it would go hard.
I agree that it would go hard. I disagree that I would want to experience it.
We wouldn't have to be in a club. Like, my favorite EDM song is "Tell It to My Heart" by Medusa, and it's the vocalist on it is Hosier.
Mm-hmm.
That song in the car, banger. That song cleaning, banger. That song in the gym, banger.
This song in the car, banger. This song in the I don't do anything else that you just mentioned, banger.
It's got, like, Pretty Girls has got this, like the tempo of the chorus, you know what I mean? She's speaking kind of quickly, but it's following this, like, very, like, one, like, the same beat. I just think it would go well in the club, but it's too low energy to be by itself. But this song also made me realize I don't really like her outros. I don't think she does an outro of a song very well. They're not as strong as the rest of the song.
They're really not.
It's a little repetitive. And I thought there was a couple songs, I can't remember which one stuck out to me specifically, where I was like, honestly, if, like, I thought I would find this repetitive, but I thought it worked really well. Whereas her outros are just not solid.
I think in one of our last episodes, we talked about the latest Olivia Rodrigo album, and you said that a lot of her songs would be better if they were shorter. Renee Rapp falls into that as well.
I see, that's what I was saying. I was going to think that. I remember for a fact that whatever song is 2 minutes and 40 seconds, because I was trying to see if it was the shortest, because she came back in with, like, a third chorus or whatever, and I was like, normally I'd be like, we don't really need this, but I didn't mind it. Mm-hmm. But then, like, by the time we're getting here, I'm like, yeah, we could have cut these a little early. Because all of her songs were, like, close, 3 minutes or more.
Yeah, and I don't think...
the shortest is, like, 2.5-ish.
Mm-hmm. The next song is 2 minutes and 49 seconds.
Look at that. I liked this one.
You did?
I think this is the song I was talking about, where if we're going to name the album after a song on the album, I would pick this one. Just because in terms of, like, popularity, this was the song I heard clips of a lot. I didn't hear the rest of the album.
Interesting. I don't think I've heard, like, I haven't come across this song on TikTok that I can recall.
And then it wasn't even people, like, using it for, like, a trend in the sense that, like, it was, like, the backing or they were mouthing the words to make it for a scenario. It was a lot of people just talking about how vindictive she sounded, and they're like, that's, like, a different kind of evil to, like, wish generational trauma. I just thought it was very interesting. Like, I guess it didn't blow up that much since you didn't see it, but I thought it was very interesting that, like, of all the songs of hers to, like, blow up on my end, at least, it was the song about her heterosexual relationship and not the other ones. Like, I thought Pretty Girls would do numbers. Pretty Girls,
for me, it's doing pretty well.
You know what vibes Pretty Girls gave me? I just thought of it. It's like Troye Sivan, that sort of music.
Yeah.
So, like, if it was, like, Pretty Guys, I guess, like, that would do Troye Sivan. That would do numbers.
His new stuff is really good. I'm a big Troye Sivan fan. I'm also a big Tummy Hurts fan. This is another one of my favorites on the entire album.
Yeah, I liked it.
Also,
I said the song goes off, but it's mostly the chorus. But the chorus is, like, pulling a lot of weight.
It's pulling a whole lot of weight. But so is the line, I want some recognition for having good tits and a big heart.
Yeah, I did not like that line.
I loved that line.
I liked it at first, and I got why people liked it, but then the more I listen to it, the more I feel like it's just like when she's writing, and it's like not really her, it's just a personal hang up. Is when she's writing it, she's like, damn, this is gonna do numbers. Like,
I can see that.
The girlies are gonna love this.
But unfortunately, this girlie does love it, so things can be overlooked.
No, it works. It's just me. Because like coming in, I liked when she says, maybe I should try religion because Jesus, you're hard to rely on. And I liked it, and then I didn't like it because it was giving me very... Waiting for you is like waiting for a rain in the straw. I don't know why, but the energy of those two lines is the same.
I agree.
Vocally, though, this was like her best song by far.
Oh, yeah.
You can really hear the tone of her voice. Here. I like that, like... Do you know who Betty Who is?
I know she exists, but that's about my...
Yeah, I didn't know she existed, actually. But Betty Who is like got this nice, deep, rich voice, and like if Renee Rapp could get there, oh my god, I love it. I love a deep voice. But yeah, vocally, I thought this was her best song. I wish more of them had this sort of oomph to it, and it was vindictive. And I really love the switch up at the end because the whole time she's saying like, one day someone's gonna do to your daughter what he did to me. And at the end, she says, one day someone's going to do to your daughter what you did to me. So we talked about that with Hosier. I like when, like, the line is the same, the essence is the same, but they swap it a little bit. And I like how she, like, started speaking directly to him. I think this is one case where her outro was solid.
I agree. I think it helped a lot here, which is an outlier. I wish it happened in more songs. Actually, I wish more songs just didn't have an outro at all. It's rare that it...
Just cut the song off.
Yeah, just
finish.
Stop singing. Yeah. Speaking of things that we wish... the next song is called I Wish. I listened to this song one time, decided that I could never listen to it ever again, and so I have stopped listening to it because I know it's not good for me to listen to.
I said I felt wrong about judging the song, and I liked it. I didn't feel like it was fair for me to...
Yep.
Pass judgment. It's about, like, some family member passing away while she was 10 and her realizing, like, she says, like, I was 10 the first time I realized, like, some goodbyes are forever. So I was like, I feel like we could just hop on out of here.
Yeah, okay.
You know what else we could hop on out of here with? Willow. It was a song.
Ouch.
He sang it.
I think Willow is a little bit Tumblr-y in the verses, but I think it sounds really cool and it makes up for it, and I like Willow.
I mean, first of all, I was confused about what that song was about, right? Because she was like, I don't know, actually. The only thing that stuck out to me is in the pre-chorus, she goes, can I get your permission to lay underneath you? And I was like, okay. But in the chorus, she's like, don't cry. I'll cry for you. And I was like, I don't really know where we're going here. I have lost the plot.
I believe we're going to what 303 would call Pound Town.
But then she's like, just to grow your own roots. Just keep your
passion. Yeah, that part is bad. We don't have to talk about that part.
Patch up your youth. Why are we crying? Because I don't think we're crying for the same reason she said, can I lay under you? If she was that, I'd be like, this is a little intense. But like, okay, I'm with you. I picked it up. But like...
The second verse just doesn't exist, though. When I hear that song, it just cuts out.
Oh, okay. Okay, this whole song just doesn't exist for me.
Okay. You know what? That's fair. The whole next song doesn't exist to me either.
When I heard the title of the song, I said, nope, I can't listen. I'm not in the right space to listen to that. And then I did listen to it twice. I think it would have hit more like a year ago. Mm-hmm. But it's not as powerful as I thought it would be. I don't know if this is a me hang up. I think you can write well, and I think there's a level of... The level of seriousness you have in one line of your song, you need to maintain throughout the song. Like, you can't have a song that's, like, campy, and then out of nowhere come with a song that's, like, really deep and serious, you know? Within reason. Here, she says, it's my Kobe year.
She's saying it's my Jordan year.
Jordan, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Whatever.
okay.
It's my Jordan year, which like is fine. It's a good line, whatever. But it's such like a not an internet thing. It's just such like a you know those like Instagram pages who like post like it's a random black and white photo of Kobe Bryant and then text over it. It feels very that, but then it gets very deep, and I just felt like we couldn't have both of those.
Yeah, I didn't like this song. I don't think we need to be talking about under eye bags and designer bags in the same sentence ever. That's just so corny to me every single time.
And then like, you want me to take this seriously?
Yeah.
Also, I found out this girl was born in 2000, and that upset me, even though technically she is closer in age to me than you and I are.
Sorry.
But I said this was a good cleaning album. We talked about this with Olivia Rodrigo. When you make an album, I think it's very important to picture what scenario, or like what's the perfect scenario for this to be listened to, or what scenarios you could listen to the album in. And I'm not saying like it could be a hyper specific, like Eleanor said for Olivia Rodrigo, it's like you got drunk, like it could be a hyper specific scenario, but you need to have one in mind. It can't just be like a aimless album that like this song is good for this thing and this song. I think yes, your songs will be like certain songs will be better suited for different scenarios. But overall, your album needs to be good for
you need
one
a direction,
thing.
yeah.
This was a good cleaning album. I was cleaning my room while I was listening to it. It was good. I liked it. It wasn't boring in terms of theme or material or like even the sound. It didn't feel repetitive to me. I was worried we were gonna get like Olivia Rodrigo we talked about, and I'm sorry I keep ragging on her. It's just the last album we listened to. We talked about how like she sounds like she's always thinking about the exact same guy in the exact same relationship at the exact same point in her life. It's not even like I said sometimes Taylor Swift sings about the same relationship, but she might sing about it from, like, right when they broke up. Versus, like, years down the line, she's had some clarity. Whereas Olivia Rodrigo sounds like she's always, like, right at the tail end of it, right in the thick of it. It is the same dude. He has not gotten any better. We still don't like him. Renee Rapp gave us range.
She did. She does have the range. I like this as for the most part, I like it as a driving album, and I like it as a doing work that doesn't require a lot of thought album.
Yeah.
But it's a good album overall, I would say.
I gave it an 8 out of 10, shockingly.
Oh, that's higher than even I would give it.
But with originally I was saying like 6 or 7. But if I was listening to it specifically in the context of like have it kind of in the background, like that what it's suited for, it's a perfect cleaning album. So I was like, I'd bump it up a little higher. It's not an album I would like want to. You have albums that you can only listen to when you're not paying attention to. I think you have albums that you could only listen to if you are actively paying attention, and then you have albums that are good for both. This is an album I would want to actively pay attention to, but I wouldn't tune it out completely either. It's a nice little middle ground. So yeah, 8, 7 out of 10.
I would say 7. Yeah. What are your top 3?
My top 3 were I Hate Boston, Poison, and Snow Angel, actually.
Oh.
I was debating between Snow Angel and Tummy Hurts, but I think Snow Angel, I liked the choruses more than I liked the chorus on Tummy Hurts. Tummy Hurts, kind of, the chorus was doing all the work for me. Sorry, the verses, yeah. Tummy Hurts, the chorus was doing all of the work.
That's interesting. I wouldn't expect that from you.
No, me neither.
Mine are not in order. Tummy Hurts, So What Now, and probably Poison. Although I'm having a lot of I'm struggling a lot with Poison now that I know it's not as fun as I originally.
I think the more I listen to Talk Too Much, it gets higher up there.
Oh, every time I listen,
fun.
I find more to not like about Talk Too Much.
Yeah, the more I listen to it, I like it, but like compared to the other ones, which I liked off the bat, it's not as powerful. I liked it, and sometimes she had like nonsense lyrics, but it was fun, light instrumentals. I liked it. I think I think the vibe of her lyrics and song matched consistently.
I agree.
Which, like we said, sometimes there's a place for happy lyrics, sad sound, sad lyrics, happy sound, but like I think the vibe across was like equally in the middle for everything.
I'm surprised you liked this as much as you did.
Me too.
I'm glad you did.
I haven't added anything to my playlist yet, but I probably will if I give them a couple more listens.
I love that. I had some of these on our driving playlist.
You did.
You were here.
I didn't like them then.
Okay, that's fair. All right. We will be back next week. Maybe. With maybe not an album.
It'll probably be an album.
Yeah, and we might not even be back. We'll see what happens.
I'm gonna. My plan is to watch the Well, first I'm watching Lupin on Netflix. Omar Sy is the most charismatic man alive. 10 out of 10. It's back, so I'm watching that. My plan is to watch The Bear on Hulu. I don't know if we're gonna talk about it because I don't think I will be able to come up with like proper thoughts for a while.
Okay.
But Jeremy Allen White is supposed to be very good in The Bear, and then also he's cute. You know, he's got like that. Someone called him like the working class woman's Timothée Chalamet, which unfortunately is correct. it worked. That's the vibe he has.
Well, you let me know if it's good, and then we'll go on from there.
Yeah, but you and I have very different ideas.
I know.
I watched a movie with my mom last night, and I think she asked me to leave halfway through because I spent the whole time going, this is stupid, and this is stupid. It was called, first of all, the name of it was one of those, like, cheesy, Wattpad-y romances, where this girl goes to Italy, she meets a hot rich guy, and then she meets a hot not rich guy, and, like, that's the love triangle, and it was just cheesy. It was cute. Her, like, godfather was Irish, so, like, I was sold on that, you know? We unfortunately didn't get a lot of scenes with him. But, like, the guy playing the rich guy just looked like... You know when they're a little too perfect looking? Mm-hmm. He was, like, cute, but he, like, looked kind of like Ken Dolly, which wasn't his fault. It's not that he was ugly. And then, right, so the poor guy ended up being the winner, and he was, like, a chef. I'm sorry, I don't even keep calling him the poor guy, right? But whatever. It was very much, like, a class thing, too, you know? Like... Oh, but this guy, Alessandro, he can offer you parties and yachts, and he's going to Harvard because he had money, right? Whereas the other guy was, like, trying to get into cooking school. And one of the key plot points was his Nona's gelato. And then I found out at the end of the movie, the name of the movie is Love and Gelato. That spoiled the ending. If I had known that, I'd have been like, whoa, I know who she's picking. And then she had, like, a sassy black best friend.
Oh.
It was one of those. It wasn't, like, bad, but I was like, oh, it was like really. it was very Wattpad romancy. It was cute. It was just I spent the whole time going, yeah, he looks too perfect. If a man said that to me, I would not speak to him again. I was like, can you leave? But I was having fun.
Well, on that note, I'm gonna leave. That was a lot for me. Sounds like an awful movie.
It was like a fun turn your brain off movie, you know.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for listening.
We will be back next time. One of us will definitely be back next time.
With something.
Even if it's me looking at my Spotify playlist and then seeing how many words I can say in 20 minutes, which is what I did the last time I had an episode by myself.
Okay. Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that. I have been Eleanor.
I have been Kalina.
Goodbye. Good night.
Bye. Thanks for listening. Don't quote me on that. One day we'll have an outro, but it's not today.